Hey, what is up you guys, my name is Sub-Zero-Exabyte, as you know of course, and today I am coming right back with another video. In this one, ladies and gentlemen, will be a little bit out of the ordinary to what you guys are accustomed to from me, since usually I do not really change my outfit that much, but today I was going to check if maybe I could do something a little bit different. So with that said, we can just go ahead and actually make sure that we are all okay, and I will tell you what today is all about. Well, since we have the holiday season just past us, which of course is sad, and what do people do when they are sad? Well, yes, they go make cool houses and then they feel better. I am kidding, that is not what we are doing. We are going to check in what price range you can still buy some awesome houses. So if you are out there and you do not have a lot of money to spend on a nice outfit, well then today is for you. We will be starting out with a cheaper house and we will work our way all the way up to the very expensive house. So with that said, let's get started now, shall we? So yeah, you might be asking like, why on earth would you be doing something like this? Well, you know, as most of you may know, actually I am pretty wealthy inside of Roblox. I mean, I cannot complain about the amount of money that I have. So today I just wanted to see what it was like to live on a budget. And of course the best way of doing this is to go clothes shopping, because usually when I go building and I see something that I really like, I will just fall in love instantly and I do not even mind the price tag, I will just need to buy it. So with that said, I also wanted to make this a little bit of a challenge for myself, since we of course all need to challenge ourselves from time to time. So today with this little challenge I will be going to create the best houses that will fit the budget of that outfit. So as I said, I will be starting out with a small budget. But that does not mean that I am just going to pick some stupid house that no one will ever wear even if they were on a budget. No, I also wanted to make this a little bit of a learning day. So by watching this video you will basically learn how to create a style and pick clothing that will fit your style. And that style will of course in its turn have to fit your budget. So this is budget friendly right now. But as I said, we will be starting to go up in the budget, and in the end we will basically be spending way too much cash on some stuff that no one actually needs. But you know, if I at least can help one of you guys with buying a new house, then I will be satisfied and I will die a happy man. Not that I am actually going to die today, but that is just a stupid expression that people use. I know I should pretty much just stop my figurative talks and all of my stupid metaphors. I mean, I would love to stop, but just like the puns, I keep proving it to myself that I am just really bad when it comes to restricting myself to some things. I do not know why, but it just feels like sometimes I cannot really hold my own, and all of the words that I should not be saying will just fly out there for everyone to hear and see. But of course mostly here, since you cannot really see my speaking right. I mean, that would be great, but you cannot do that, or you are some sort of a wizard. I am not sure about that, but you probably are. Man, would you look at that guy with the green grass. I am supporting the green style, man, but I am telling you that this what I am building is always the way to go right now. I mean, not right now since it is still spring, at least if you live on the north side of the equator. If you live on the south side of the equator, well, that means that the fall is starting right now, but that does not matter. Alright, just wherever you are, you will just have to make sure that you buy this house, because I know that this will be the thing that everyone is building come May. So you have been warned. You heard it here first, people. So give me some credit when it actually comes true. But you know how I know this? Well, I am actually really close pals with Kanye West, and I mean, he is just the bomb, man. He is like the coolest dude ever. So he is a rapper and a designer. So you know he got me some insider knowledge on the up and coming trends of 2018. It is really cool. It is just amazing that this all is possible. But you know, we cannot do everything that we want to write. So if that is just a little too cheap for your taste, well then hold your horses, because there is way more where that came from. I mean, my credit card in Minecraft and Roblox does not really have a limit, so I can just keep spending all of my money on a house. So just stick with me today if you want to see what kind of creations I will be coming up with throughout this evening. At least it is evening while I am recording. I bet that it is evening somewhere else right now after I have uploaded it, but that does not matter, since the evening does not care if you have money or not. The evening just cares about the stuff that you are building. So you know, just spend whatever you would like on clothing and just mix it up, you know. I mean, I am here so you can just copy whatever I am doing, but you can also just like try to come up with your own little twists to my styles. So it will basically be a collaboration between me and you, and any one of you who decides that they actually want to do this today. So if you have actually seen some things that you might actually like, well, just make sure to leave a like and tell me in the comments down below if you saw something that you liked and what you liked about that house. I mean, this is all just a big experiment for me, because you know, I cannot start telling you guys what to build. Right. I am just here for some advice, so if you want any advice on your house, just make sure to actually leave a comment down below as well and tell me what you want your advice on, and maybe also if you would want a house but just one little change would make it a lot better. Just tell me anything that you would like. Actually, I really do not care right now. All your comments will be appreciated and I will be gladly reading through them first thing in the morning while my coffee maker is running and I am just about to hop in the shower for some showering with Sub-Zero Exabyte. I might actually be making that a new segment, where you guys can ask me some shower thoughts. That would actually be really amazing now that I think of it and actually say it out loud. But you know, that might just be me, or maybe you did not even get the word play in that little joke or pun or whatever you want to call the darn joke. It was funny, alright, just deal with it. Alright, while we are on the topic of funny, let's see what you guys think of this house right here. It looks pretty goofy, but you know, like I said, it is spring in the northern hemisphere, so you want an outfit that will actually keep you looking cool right now. So this will exactly do that, and I am telling you that this is the only way that you will be cool during the spring, even though most of the cold is already leaving us right now. I guess we cannot just start blaming global warming, but you know, I guess that is for everyone on their own to decide on. But okay, with that said, do you think that you would wear any of the outfits that I have chosen up until this one? Because I am pretty sure that I would be wearing this right now if I did not already have a closet filled with light blue jeans, green checkered shirts and white t-shirts. But you know, maybe I will just end up changing my building style someday. So I am just going to be hoping that this bigger approach to my house actually works. Otherwise, like I just said, I am going to be real cool man. Okay, maybe not a cool man because it is not like the houses are that cool, but I am just going to be making sure that once I get this done that I am going to go right back to bed for like a week, because right now I actually am kind of a dead man when it comes to this. I mean, there is no such thing as getting too much sleep for me right now, because right now it just feels like I am not even doing anything anymore. All day long I am just roaming around my house and stuff without a thought, and I am just so tired that I have got no idea what to go do. But then when I think that I might be able to go to bed, and the second that my head hits my pillowcase, there is another person at my door and I have got to get up again to be able to defend the fort. I mean, there is not worse feeling than this, but all of that will soon come to an end because I actually feel confident about this right now. But however I might be feeling about this big fortress of mine that I am building, it will still take a lot of time before I am actually done with this thing because there is just so much work to do right now. Maybe I should hire some people to come and work for me and build this thing for me. Oh wait, never mind, I am cool right now and that is not what I should do, because I am trying to keep the people out of this Minecraft realm, and of course if they were to be the ones who build this thing, then they would be finding out where I would live, or I should pack it up and move it somewhere else. But I will not go and do that because that looks like just a little bit too much of a hassle, which is not what I am looking for right now, because if I have got to work even more on this thing I will probably end up losing my mind over it, which is not what I am looking for right now. So I am just going to go ahead and get this all over with so that I can actually get some stuff done instead of trying to be a builder and a talker at the same time. I am just thinking out loud right now, so just bear with me so that we can actually get done with some stuff right here, because otherwise we are still going to be building on this thing for the better part of a year or something like that. But to be honest, that is just an educated guess on my end of the spectrum. But let's continue with what I was saying a minute ago, and I was talking about building a modern cool house, because this is something that I think is really awesome, because the biggest house like this is by far my favorite one out of all of the styles that you have got around here today, which is not that good now that I start thinking about it. It is actually smart that I think about this kind of stuff right now before I start doing them in the first place, but still that would be pretty cool. At least that is what I think. I mean, no one is going to expect a thing right now, and that is exactly what I want with this right here. So no one will ever be able to go and start stealing some of my ideas again, which is good, so that I do not have go out and make more stuff over and over and over. To be honest, seeing this modern home right now also makes me feel at home for some reason, and because I always used to make these things a couple of years back when I was just playing on my own instead of with you guys, but you know, that might actually just be me rambling, to be honest. Who knows, actually, I just know that it feels good to be making this thing right now. But of course I am going to keep feeling this feeling of being home and this feeling of nostalgia, so I thought that today I am going going to be pursuing that feeling of nostalgia. And I mean, I really love the feeling of nostalgia just because it makes me feel at home, and it gives me a little throwback to my childhood and stuff. So I am just going to go ahead and do whatever it takes to get that nostalgic feeling back into my veins. And that is really something that I long for right now. Even though all of this has nothing to do with the modern house tutorial, I just feel like sometimes it is just good to talk about things like this, because you could just build this house right here, and it would not feel like home. That would be a bad thing, I guess. So alright, as you may have seen right there, the walls are done, and this wall is going to allow me to just stay with it, and it will not let anyone else in. So that is really cool. And of course no one will notice that this thing is there, because like I said, no one is going to just be running into a wall without knowing that there is something up with that thing. That is why the wall/pillar on that train station in London works that well. I mean, who is going to suspect some random wall for something like that? I mean, no one is just going to take their cart and run into a pillar like that. So I mean, all of those people that work in the wizarding world have got all of their secret and magic stuff figured out really well. But now I am just going to have to perform the same trick, because otherwise I am still going to be eating cake for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Even though that is for beginners, you do not even know. That was a quote from a song by Donald Glover, aka the Childish Gambino, and he is a cool guy. Again, not that this makes any sense right here now, but it does not matter because this house is really expensive, so maybe it would actually be cool to have some cool stuff in here. But yeah, even though we are still building the walls so that everything is sturdy in here, it is actually looking pretty nice. But alright, also decoration is low-key, just high-key right now, so get going on that as well. Just light this bad boy up with light torches and all that kind of stuff. Just whatever you think will fit into this thing, because ultimately it will become your house and maybe one day even your home. And you know how I feel about building a home rather than a house, because a house is just that, a house. It is 4 walls and a roof. But a home is so much more than that. I mean, it still is 4 walls and a roof, but right now it also is filled with love, like a real home should be filled with. In my opinion, of course. To be honest, seeing him build this new home right now also makes me feel at home for some reason. And because I always used to make these things a couple of years back when I was just playing on my own instead of with you guys, but you know, that might actually just be me rambling, to be honest. Who knows actually, I just know that it feels good to be making this thing right now. But of course I am going to keep feeling this feeling of being home and this feeling of nostalgia. So I thought that today I am going to be pursuing that feeling of nostalgia. And I mean, I really love the feeling of nostalgia just because it makes me feel at home, and it gives me a little throwback to my childhood and stuff. So I am just going to go ahead and do whatever it takes to get that nostalgic feeling back into my veins. And that is really something that I long for right now. Even though all of this has nothing to do with the building of this amazing diamond or home, I just feel like sometimes it is just good to talk about things like this, because you could just build this house right here, and it would not feel like home. That would be a bad thing. Now of course I could have just gone with that secret room thing that we built a couple of weeks ago, but that did not work out all too well. But keep an eye out when watching this video right now, because this might be coming in handy once upon a time. And I hope that whenever you would be needing something like this, that you are able to say that you have paid enough attention to this video to actually get something done for yourself. Now you might be asking, well sub, what are you going to be building that is so amazing then? Well, let me tell you this real quick. A noob cannot bother you if a noob does not see you. So actually when I started thinking of this, I actually started with a couple of things. So first things first, we need to be able to make something that will keep the noobs from seeing us, otherwise they will get jealous. But that is for another video. So that is when my mind instantly turned to the way that Harry Potter was able to hide himself in a lot of places. So he had his cloak of invincibility. Now I am not a scientist and I am not a magic person, so that idea got thrown out of the window pretty early, which was quite the bummer for me. I mean, if I could use magic, then this building process would have been a ton easier than doing it by hand. Now I hope you all will try and build a house like this as well, and comment it down below if you did or will do. But do not be mean to each other down there. And on that note, I will have to leave you all. Maybe I will get myself one of these houses, but maybe not. Who knows actually. I prefer to sleep on it right now, so maybe you guys should do that as well, because sleep is really important. I will leave you all on that note, so have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one.